Well, hello everyone and welcome to another podcast. Bit of an interesting one today. I'm actually fishing what is, for all intents and purposes, an unfished stream. I've been passing it for years in the car, and I just decided to find the farmer and ask him if I could have a fish, and he was a bit bemused but said yeah, that's no problem. Just the condition being, if I catch anything, just to let him know what's in here. It's only around between 5 foot and probably 8 foot wide. It's heavily overgrown. I've managed to get down probably about a foot deep at the minute. There's not a lot of water. Tree lined each side, I mean really tree lined, overgrown, really hanging over. It's like a green tunnel really, but there's a bit of water coming down. I've not seen anything rise at all, but it looks the kind of place where you're going to find a few little wild brown trout. I put on a skinny black gnat, size 16, and I've got my little 7 foot rod. I'm just going to have a prospect up with a dry fly and see if there's anything there. Beautiful sunny day, very warm, but it's so overgrown here, it's almost dark, which hopefully will help the fishing a little. When I say it's overgrown, that's probably an understatement. In fact, this 7 foot rod is on the long side for here. Let's have a little cast up and see if there's anything there. I can see the dry coming down. I'm just trying to keep looking ahead of me a little bit and see if I can see anything rise at all. There is a little bubble stream working down, so that's going to be the likely place. It is an absolutely scorching day, but now I'm under all these little trees, it's nice and cool. It's actually a little deeper than I thought just here. I'm going to have to switch over to a roll cast. Now it's getting a little bit more overgrown. Unfortunately, this 7 foot rod is starting to feel a little large. Right. I'm actually going to change and I popped a little black and peacock spider on. I'm just it's very, very awkward wading. Just tapping it upstream into the bubbles. Fishing in what is more of a traditional upstream spider, so a short line, a tap upstream with the rod onto the water, and then just lifting the rod tip as the line comes back down to gather any slack as it develops, and that gives a nice dead drift. But I've treed it. Try and get this out of the tree without losing a fly. And with being not familiar with the river, it's the wading's it's very rocky underfoot. So it's got caught in a little oak tree. And just get the fly out to do a bit of pruning. There we go. Right. Well, I've probably spooked anything that's in this bit of river, so I will walk a little. I'll walk a little further upstream and see if I can find anything there. It's one of those days where if you're going to be anywhere, you want to be down by the side of a lovely babbling stream, and the lights all dapple through the woods. It's lush green woods, and you can just see the glinting of the little brook as it's meandering through the woodland. And I've only ever really seen it from the road, having never fished it, so this is a bit of an adventure, really. This reminds me of the fly fishing I did 30 years ago just as a boy when I was learning to fish. Just, you know, if anyone caught a 6-incher, it'd be a whopper. It's a little wider here, the river. A little wider. I'm looking upstream, it's very shallow. Very, very shallow. But I think I can see a little rise. It's on the left bank, and the only problem is the water's very it's fairly still here, so sometimes when the water's this still, it's hard to tell whether it's a rising fish or actually just a fly. Oh, there's definitely a rising fish midstream. I was going to say it's hard to tell sometimes whether it's a rising fish or a fly hatching, actually. But I just have to be steady. I don't put any waves. I'm going to keep the spider on because it can be good for rising fish, even if you're fishing just below the surface. And I think it might just be a good searching pattern today, this little black and peacock spider, as opposed to the fish in the dry. And just sort myself out a little bit before I start approaching these fish. Are going to be very, very hard, and it's still very overgrown. There's virtually no sunlight down here at all. Right, I'm going to start with this, what may be a fish in this left bank, if I can actually get a cast anywhere near it, and then work my way up to what's a little further ahead. I'm just in a tiny bit of a tangle at the minute. It's one of these casts again where you get one shot, really. Just wet the fly, and then it's not far off. Could do with it a 6-foot rod here, if I'm honest. And it's that still. I can see the crease of the leader on the meniscus of the water, but the fly is just sinking, and actually seeing that leader is a good way of having a strike indication, because even the smallest of little touches will move that leader and enable me to strike into a fish. Yes! Yes! There we go. a little wild brown trout. Oh, fantastic. Oops. Let's get him in. Oh, beautiful. He's 5 inches maybe. Absolutely stunning. Oh, I'm pleased as punch with that. Right, let's put the rod down. A fish like that means more to me than, well, means an awful lot to me. Perfect, absolutely perfect start to the day. Alright, sort myself out and get another cast out. It's amazing what a scrap these little wild brown trout put up. You do forget how hard fighting they are for their size. I mean, he's only the best of what, 4 inches, that one, and put up a very good account for themselves, don't they? Oh, there's another rise there just ahead of a rock. Let me see if I can, that's not far off him. Oh, I've managed to cast it around the rock. I'm just starting to put a few waves up the run here, actually. I've done an aerial mend in my cast to actually curve it round the rock. And I was only saying to someone the other day, I can't remember the last time I actually had to do that, but it's nice to be in a situation where you actually are doing it. The reason I chose the black and peacock was it's so overgrown here that there's going to be lots of beetles and terrestrials falling in. And I've always found a little black and peacock spider is a great little beetle imitation, or just an excellent searching pattern when you don't quite know what to use and you don't know whether to go wet or dry. It'll fish just in or under the surface film, so you're not going to get snagged on the bottom, and makes a good little terrestrial or drowning fly imitation. You can see ahead of me it looks like a little gradient and there's a riffle running down, so I'll fish up to there. It gives me a good 30-40 feet more efficient. I've just seen a little bulge as a fly over on the right bank, so I'm just going to work my way to cover that. The one I caught actually was a fish I'd not seen, and it just shows you the benefit of always fishing through water. Even if you're going to try and target another fish, fish your way towards it, because you walk over a lot of fish. Oh, missed it. That was a quick take. That was like lightning. Very quick take. The bulge again there. I'm just a foot to the right. That should cover him just there. Oh, stumbled. I was trying to creep up this pool as best I can, and I've just stumbled a bit there. Let's see, might have pushed him down. Problem is with these still crystal clear low pools like this, if you spook one and it runs up the pool, it can scatter the rest. That might have put an end to my fishing here. I've got quite a way to go, so I'll see if there's any more pools above me. It's a mixture of large mature trees and the usual brambles on the woodland floor. It's so undercover here, you wouldn't even really know there was a stream here. Yeah, I can't see anything else rising, and I'll fish up the riffle, because if they're in the riffle, then they may not have felt the vibrations from my stumble. Ideally here you could do with probably a 1 or a 2 weight in a 6 foot length would be perfect. It's a little bit long. I think it's a 3 weight this in a 7 foot, and it's just a little bit long for the stream. I can just about manage it. Yes, it looks to me like I've probably spooked whatever was lying in the pool, so I'll just fish up the riffle just in case there's anything hanging around in the top of the pool. Oh, it's a little deeper here, it's a little pocket. It's just suddenly gone up to my knee instead of around my ankles. That'll make a lovely little hole for a trout to live in. Right, so I've fished up through the riffle, and then just ahead of me there's another smaller pool, and this looks like another likely spot. In fact, in the lip of the pool there's looks like there might have just been a little bit of movement there, so that's going to be a hard cast because the fly's going to drag. But if I can just keep enough line off the water, might just get a couple of shots at it. Oh, I had a ride at the fly. Just as I was pulling into cast, something's tried to nobble it. I'll probably put that one down just where I thought it'd be as well, just in the lip of the pool. Yes! And again, another little wild brownie. That was the one I was after. He was just in the oops, where is he? He was just in the lip of that pool there, and managed to get him. Well, that's two. It's just pretty much a carbon copy of the last fish. 4 or 5 inches. It completely took me by surprise, that one. I wasn't quite holding the line under my control finger, and for a 4-inch fish it didn't half put me in a pickle. Let's continue. So I've probably only got 4 feet of line out and a 9 foot leader, and I'm just doing very short casts, and it just lifting the rod tip as the line comes back down, watching the tip of the line. It's quite a traditional upstream spider or wet fly method, and sometimes they'll take it the second your fly hits the water, others it's just as it tracks downstream, and quite often you'll see the bulge as they're hitting it just in the surface film. The water's nice and turbulent in this bit, it's just disguising my approach a little. Oh, I'm in again. Oh, this is a better one. This is a better fish. And this one's actually putting a bend in the rod. Oh, he's a nice fish. Nice fish. Probably, I don't know, 12 inches. Dark coloration. Beautiful wild brown trout. Well, I'm absolutely made up so far with this little stream. I wasn't expecting anything of that size, and he picked the spider off just before I cast. Right, I'm going to continue working up this pool, and I wonder what other mysteries this little stream's going to uncover. I might try a few more spiders as well. I might move over to a partridge and orange and a snipe and purple, and just really go the whole hog on the traditional spider route. That's more like pocket water now, very broken. So it's ideal for this kind of fishing. Short line, good control over your line, and not too much drag. When I was it's very quick and fast fishing. But I was out coaching with a chap the other day and took him down onto the river and found a really fast riffle, and he just said to me he'd never realised that actually those kind of bits of water held fish. And I was explaining to him not only do they hold fish, but they can hold plenty of them, and they're easier bits to fish too. Right, I think I'm gonna just get out and skirt round this bit. It's a little tricky on the wading. Well, we've got a fairly deep, still pool ahead here. It looks like a large back eddy, which are always hard to fish on a fly, as the line gets swirled up like a washing machine and drags the fly. But I think I'll leave this. It's not easy fly water. I prefer to fish some of the straighter currents. This looks a little better. It's a real scramble to get down. There's some ducks up ahead. Get in here and fish my way up here. Treat it again. Let's just ease this gently out the leaf. I'm surprised I've not actually found myself in more trees than I have. There we go. Trying my best not to stumble and just creep up the... They're always a little deeper than you think, these streams, when you see them. They often look like they're going to be inches, and actually they're up around your knees. A perfect little bit of water in front of me now. It's a lovely glide, and should be a fish or two in here if I'm finding them in the other spots. So that would look like it could be a rise there, just a tail flicking out. Hammer in. There we go. Looks like another little 4-incher. Oh, it's even smaller, more like 3.5-incher, that one. Right, all sorted, and just slowly working my way back up the pool. Lots of little midges and black gnats around, and there's the odd caddies knocking around too, but virtually all the fish I've caught so far have been unseen. They've, apart from I think a couple have targeted the rise, it's just from prospecting all the likely areas, methodically working up the river. And the river's gone a little wider here and glassier and stiller, so stealthiness becomes more important, to be really careful with your wading and your approach. Very easy to spook them in this kind of water. There's a rise under a tree ahead of me. Classic lie, that, right on the overhang of a tree branch. I don't think I'm going to get that one. That's not far off it. No, I think I spooked him with my first cast. I've treed it just where I didn't want to tree it. Oh, it's come loose. There's another rise just next to a tree root. Try and drop him over that fella. That should cover it. Oh, missed it. The lightning take. Oh yes, there we are. Oh, he's off. He's off. That leapt out the water. It's a better fish as well, that. Probably 8 to 10 inches. Well, that's me done, I think, for today. I've had a wonderful afternoon, absolutely beautiful summer's afternoon fishing this little stream. A few little wild brown trout and one really nice one. So thanks so much for listening. For more information about our flies, please visit us at shop.peaksflyfishing.com, or for fly fishing coaching, it's www.peaksflyfishing.com. Until next time, thank you, bye bye.